Donald Trump said and did a whole lot of things on and around January 6, 2021, as he attempted to use government leverage to further his bogus voter fraud schemes and stay in power. None was more damning than a quote that resurfaced during the House of Representatives' final public hearing on the January 6 inquiry on Thursday. It came from an extended phone conversation between Trump, Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, and Acting Assistant Attorney General Richard Donoghue in December 2020. According to Donoghue, who was taking notes at the same time, the call was about the then-president's repeated pressure on top officials, Justice Department officials plied about a variety of false and conspiratorial claims about the election, all of which Donoghue shot down. At some point during the call, Trump appears to have become annoyed. He begged Rosen and Donoghue to just say the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman, Donoghue testified Thursday. Yes. Think about it for a minute. This isn't the first time we've heard this line. Politico reported the existence of Donoghue's notes and the Trump quote they contained in July 2021. First, consider the audacity shown by Trump here. He asks the two senior Justice Department officials at the time, who have repeatedly told him on the same call that his allegations of voter fraud are false, to simply say that there was fraud and done. Second, the quote reveals, or in truth reveals it again, the utter misunderstanding which Trump harbored for the Justice Department. From the early days of his tenure, Trump has publicly expressed his frustration that the DOJ would not simply do his will. Trump repeatedly wondered, via his Twitter feed and his own public comments, why his first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, had withdrawn from investigating Russia's attempts to meddle the 2016 election. In an August 2018 interview with Fox, Trump asked, "What kind of man is this?" of Sessions, adding that he never took control of the Justice Department. Trump fired Sessions the day after the 2018 election. Despite the hand-picked choice of Sessions' successor Bill Barr, Trump still complained that the probe led by special counsel John Durham, which was set to probe the origins of the FBI's Russia probe, was failing progressing quickly as enough. If that's the case, I think it's horrible, Trump told conservative radio show Rush Limbaugh in October 2020 when asked about the possibility that the Durham inquiry might not be released until after the election. It's very disappointing, and I'm going to say it to Barr's face. I think it's a shame. It's an embarrassment. Note that it wasn't just the Justice Department where Trump seemed to have fundamentally misunderstood his power over them. He repeatedly referred to my generals and my military. The third thing the quote reveals is that Trump didn't do it. I don't really care, in any meaningful way, whether or not there actually was electoral corruption. Recall that in the same phone call, Trump told Rosen and Donoghue to just say the election was corrupt, that he had said the various claims he made about voter fraud were false. All Trump cared about was using the Justice Department's imprimatur as a shield that he could then use to steer perceptions in favor of his electoral lies. In short, he knew what he was saying was not backed up by the facts. He did not care. He just wanted the DOJ to say corrupt so he could fuse and mold that for his own goal. To stay in office no matter what. It's not yet clear if the committee will ultimately recommend criminal charges or whether the DOJ will indict Trump or anyone else in connection with their January 6 activities. But what is clear is that Trump saw the Justice Department as just another arm with which to carry out his agenda. He never knew or cared about the independence of the Justice Department or why it wasn't as vital to the health of American democracy.